You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Saturday. I'm Dolly, and we're going to keep it very simple on your weekend bonus episode intro today, and that is that there is a brand new shirt at BaDPod.ca, which is our charity shirt store. You can go online, you can buy shirts with our logos on it, talking about the Dirty 530, Brock and Dolly World Order, all that stuff is on there. But also right now, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know Brock's been doing this weird bit for a while now where he claims that one day the studio smelled like roast beef, and it's turned into this ongoing joke. We now have a beef shirt in the store, BaDPod.ca. You can pick it up today. It will only be in the store for one more week, and then it is gone forever. And is with all shirts and all merchandise that is in the Bad Shop, all the proceeds, every single penny that we make off these shirts, will be going directly from the store to the Canadian Cancer Society. So if you want, check out the links in the podcast description. Go check out the beef shirt. Pick one up today at BaDPod.ca. Let's get to your Saturday show.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Hey, you should send a text 762-555 right now. Ask us anything you want, cause it's Tuesday time to get with you. Hey, you should send a text 762-555 right now to me and my friend Dalby. Ask us anything you want right now.
I had no idea you had that good of a Josh Todd inside you. That's crazy.
I was hoping it was going to be that part of the song where it'd be like, you text us and we like it.
I don't think I'm going to lose. Hi. The visual of seeing you do it, I think is going to live with me for a long time.
As Brock Cherry once said, send us a text, 762-555.
Did you just call him Brock Cherry?
That's what the band's called. Someone asked, is Buck Cherry butt rock? I would say, based off what we learned last week, Buck Cherry probably falls into that.
The lyrics kind of it's somewhere between butt rock and bro rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of that, because it is. The lyrics have meaning, but the meaning sucks.
I guess the real question is, at what point does a song become dad rock? Because there's probably a lot of people that jammed out to that are dads now. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, if you were in the clubs when that song came out and you were dancing on floors to Crazy Bitch, it's probably time to take your heart medication for the day. You know what I mean? You probably want to take a leave for your back before you head out to work today.
There's some kids that don't know that they were created to that song.
Oh. I don't think I like that phrasing. Speaking of that song, someone said, why can bitch be said on the radio, but it's beat from songs? First of all, we can only really say it when we're talking about the song. Like, if we just started calling each other that, we would get in trouble.
It is weird, though. There's a few songs that you can listen to. There's, of course, the famous Tragically Hip one that has an F-bomb in there as well. There's a Pearl Jam song that has the mother in there. There's some songs where it sneaks past for some reason, and I don't know where the fine line is. But
dude, there's a Lady Gaga song. It's that Poker Face song that famously has the F word as part of the chorus.
Does it?
And no radio stations across. She did an interview a few years ago and said one radio station in the world was playing the censored version and everybody else was unknowingly playing the F word.
We played House of Pain Jump Around one time a few years ago, and I looked at Dalby and I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah,
because the line is buck you down.
Yeah.
But he says it so fast that I thought he was saying something else.
Yeah, buck you down. And then Brock looked at me and went, oh my God, we're in so much trouble. And I was like, no, that's what it is.
Someone said, how long are you selling the Dalby beef shirts for? For 2 weeks. So up until, what was the date that we decided on?
It was the 23rd. Yeah, it was 23rd, 1 week before my birthday.
All right, the 23rd, you can get your beef shirts. Can you smell what the Dalby is cooking? BaDPod.ca, or just text beef to 762-555 if you haven't seen the shirt or you want to grab one right now.
Barb just texted in, said, I just ordered my beef shirt. Sorry, Dalby, but it is for charity.
Hey.
And that is the thing that always stopped me from sending Brock a cease and desist when he puts my face in the store on a shirt, is that every shirt, whether it's for the show or it's making fun of me or what have you, is raising money for the Canadian Cancer Society. So I do encourage you, as silly as they are, to go and buy your beef shirts.
It's
while
the best shirt we've ever made, to be honest.
I'm still partial to the NWO one that we did, but yeah this one is really good.
Someone, if you missed it for Last Prize Standing, someone ruined the fun this morning, Brittany, as she eliminated the $5,000 in poutine. Someone did text in and they said, if anyone was to win that $5,000 in poutine, would they have all got it at once or in various increments?
This goes up there with the question people have asking, where is the poutine from? We didn't have a plan.
We didn't think it through.
Guys, when you look at this list and it's like furniture and electronics and cash and all these other things that are $5,000 prizes, we put the Cheetos and the poutine on there for fun. It was a joke.
I think it would have been really funny to just deliver 5,000. Like you go to like Smokes or whatever, and we just order $5,000 worth of poutine, and it's like, have at it,
dude.
Like,
just roll up with like a big wooden crate on a dolly and be like, "So where would you like your $5,000 in poutine?
Yeah,
where can I put this for you?"
And you would need to book a doctor's appointment the next day for your cholesterol going through the roof.
I think it was friend of the show Ashley that earlier suggested, like, would you just have like a tab at a local poutine spot?
Yeah.
Then you could walk in and be like, "Oh, hey, I'll take
Get
two."
Like a punch card or something
on my tab, and then when you run out $5,000 worth and you're done, that would be one of the most amazing tabs.
$5,000 in poutine, your blood would literally be gravy after a month.
And you'd have little cheese curds for eyes.
Yeah. You know, like diabetics like prick their finger.
Yeah.
You'd like prick it and just gravy would come out.
Extra beefy today.
It'd be clutch to have at Thanksgiving, honestly.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There is a sleep study that just came out that I think is something we've both been sort of preaching for some time, and that's that naps are not only like just good, but they're actually healthy for you.
Yeah.
I saw this study come out of Duke University down in the States, where one of the doctors was quoted as saying that a nap is like a performance-enhancing drug without the drug part.
Are they saying like for like work and stuff?
For just in general. They're saying, and I see, we've always seen, what was it? The 26-minute nap is the perfect nap. And that's what these guys are saying too. 20 to 30 minutes is great. But they're saying that if you have that 20 to 30 minute nap between 6 to 8 hours after you wake up, that after the nap, you will be rejuvenated in ways that you could not possibly imagine. That is the perfect timing. 6 to 8 hours after you wake up, 20 to 30 minute nap, change your whole life, they're saying.
I get that, but I always, whenever I take a nap, I'm so groggy afterwards for at least like a half an hour.
See, I think it's the timing. I think you got to shorten your nap up a little bit, because I've been, ever since we did that story, you came on here and told the 26-minute nap, I have been a firm believer. I do not nap more than 25, 26 minutes, and I do feel that energy. But now you can also target it in. The only problem is that for the average person and their average job, 6 to 8 hours after you wake up is like lunchtime.
Also, I don't know if I could nap in front of everyone at work. I mean, I know there's some places in Japan and certain offices that have those nap pod kind of things, but even I don't know if I'd feel comfortable. Like, I mean, you have sleep apnea. Are you going to bring in the sleep apnea machine and plug it in?
100%. I have a backup machine at home that I use for like traveling and stuff like that. Yeah. I would 100%, if I worked like a full 8-hour day, I would march it into the office. I would have my own dedicated, this is the sleep apnea pod. And this is where my machine goes.
You're just so vulnerable when you sleep. I can't. I hate sleeping in front of people. Maybe it's just the roommates I had in college or something.
Could be. Do you struggle the same way when you go camping? Like if you go camping with a bunch of the boys from back in Milton, do you like...
Well, the drinks usually help me sleep. But I usually take the method on not being the first one to go to sleep. That's for damn sure. I just can't imagine being at work and being like...
See, and that's the thing, right? Like, because some places will have like a lounge or an office or like a lunchroom or something with couches. You can't do it there. It has to be, offices need to start offering a sleep room.
I also like to sleep naked. Like, I just want to be honest with you on that.
That is going to cause, you know
that
what?
That sounds like an HR problem, right?
I didn't even think about that, right? Like, if you work on like a job site, you're probably in pretty comfortable like workish clothes. But imagine if you work a white collar job and you go in like a suit. Now you're crawling into the nap pod.
It's uncomfortable. What are you supposed to bring? Some jammy jams? And, I mean, you just said the job site thing. I guarantee you those are going to be like my college roommates. Fellas are going to be messing with each other on the jobs.
Yeah, that is a problem. But I mean, in an ideal world, we would stop picking on each other and we would all take 20-minute naps at lunchtime. And that would be so much better for us all.
I would need at least a 20-minute nap, and then I'd need a 20-minute post-nap because anyone that talks to me afterwards, I'd just be a right dick to.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It would seem that I am in the minority. Seems like a lot of people texting in have the same thoughts as you do about not necessarily trusting their coworkers enough to use a nap room at work.
Well, it's not trusting your coworkers, and it's just like it's going to throw your whole day off, man.
I don't know, man. I honestly do think, and I think it's because I take naps a lot in the afternoon, mind you, at home, but I think if you get the nap game down, if you take the right amount of time and you do it at the right part of the day, it's a whole life changer. But you know, the thing that you mentioned that really threw me off was like, what are you going to wear? Like, you can't wear your jammies at work. Have a little drawer that you pull out and change into some flannels with the little butt flap.
Yeah.
Crawl into bed.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. It's crazy to see, though. You mentioned the offices in Japan that have, like, the nap pods and stuff like that. Some of the stuff that they have, especially down around, what is it called? The Silicon Valley, like all the tech companies down
Google
like
and all that
California.
stuff.
Some of the stuff that they have in the building for their employees is just wild. Like, some of these offices are doing too much, I would almost say. Like, even something as basic, you know what's something I wish we had in our building? Cafeteria.
Cafeteria?
Not only someplace like, if I bring in food, I can go and I can sit and I can eat and we can like commiserate or whatever. But I worked at a radio station back in like the mid-2000s where you could go and they had like a kitchen. If you forgot or you didn't have time to make something in the morning, they'd whip you up a burger and fries.
But then the workplace kind of goes back to that high school mentality with people sitting with certain people. And
you're worried about workplace cliques?
You ever been to a cafeteria that actually has food that slaps too? 90% of it sucks.
No, that one, the one that I'm talking about, and maybe that's why I have like high memories of it. Dude, they made burgers that I still think about some
Are they
days.
high memories or are they high memories?
No. Sober memories. Held in high esteem, so to speak. Sorry.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Every workplace needs a rage room where people can just go break a bunch of stuff. I mean, even if it's not that, just an office punching bag maybe.
Right.
Or you know those machines that they have at the bar that like get your score?
Oh, yeah,
if you punch it?
Yeah, the ones you always see people failing at in the viral videos.
Or even just how nice would it be if you went into the basement and there was a big hole in the ground that you could just go and scream in? Right?
Yeah, just one soundproof room where you could just let it all out. It would only be awkward if there was a lineup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you go in and you do your thing, and then you open the door to leave, and there's like 4 or 5 people like, it's about time. Come on, we're all waiting out here.
I think actually it would boost morale because people would be like, oh, good one.
Yeah.
Like, start making yourself feel a little bit better, and you're like, oh, their day seems worse than mine.
Right. Like, oh, man, I don't know if I have as much to scream about as that guy.
Yeah, you got to, like, book your times.
You know, same sort of idea, because you mentioned the punching bag made me think of, I've seen buildings that have gyms built into them. I know a few people who've worked at radio stations that have gyms on the premises.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool to be able to go down, and, like, you could have, like, a punching bag and stuff like that, or even you're a big runner. Imagine you're having a stressful day and you could just go downstairs and just run for 20 minutes and kind of get it out.
Come back all sweaty, out of breath.
They have showers. They would have to have showers built in there.
I do think that's a nice idea to have the gym, and I mean, that's a good thing for a workplace to do to encourage, like, physical fitness and health. But it'll also be how many of us have bought a membership to a gym?
Right.
Went for a week, then never went back. It'd be one of those things that you go into the office every day and you'd be like, I'm going to use that one day.
Today's the day.
Yeah.
Not today. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow I'm going to turn it around.
Or there's that one guy that works out too much and then you just start to hate him just because he's so in shape.
He's just constant reminder of the things you should be doing with your life.
As you're coming back from your Taco Bell lunch.
Or even just like, You know how you get those bosses that get real into your space? Like they come over to your desk and they linger a little bit. You get that one boss that hits the gym at lunchtime and then doesn't put on the deodorant afterwards.
Yeah.
That's going to make life tough.
Yeah, I think you could just combine the gym and the rage room together.
Yeah.
You got to have like plastic weights though, because someone's going to end up getting into a fight one day.
100%. That's definitely an HR concern if we've got big metal barbells.
You're basically making a prison yard at that point.
You know, sometimes that does feel fitting.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast. Would you rather Wednesday? Would you rather Wednesday?
All right, let's get weird. 762-555. We got a lot of would you rather questions coming in here. We'll start off with this one. It says, would you rather, this one's directed at you, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Would you rather be Dolby or the beef? Based on the design from each shirt, which one would you rather be?
Based solely on the design. I mean, the beef thing is weird and it's fully made off of a lie, but I look ripped.
Yeah.
I look amazing. Whereas the other one, far too realistic. Liver spots, wearing Crocs on a cane walk. My kids both got Dolby shirts, and I see them wear it. It's like a stark reminder of my impending age.
Versus the beef one. I've never seen your posture look better in that one.
I've started to notice I'm getting a hunch because my mic arm is limp and it sits too low.
Just be the beef, don't be the Dolby. That's what you got to do.
Brother, I'm going to need a lot of anabolics to be the beef, all right?
Once again, if you do want to grab one of those shirts, if you haven't seen it yet, text BEEF to 762-555. 100% of the proceeds go to the Canadian Cancer Society.
Would you rather work an overtime shift with your annoying boss or spend a full day with your mother-in-law?
Mother-in-law, because Courtney's mom's actually really rad.
I was going to say, I feel like we both kind of did okay with in-laws.
Yeah, lucked out on that, yeah.
Yeah, so that one's not so bad. But imagine...
Also, no disrespect to Jackie. Jackie's pretty cool, too.
That's also the thing. So imagine you're in a situation, think of an annoying boss, and think of a bad in-law. Not current, but previous. I would say, if I had an annoying boss and a bad mother-in-law, I would take the annoying boss because I'm only getting paid in one of those scenarios.
True, but I could also fall asleep on the couch around the in-law and get away from it versus you're at work still, right?
True. If you fall asleep at work, that could be tough.
You could be very passive-aggressive to your in-law.
What if your in-law is like you? You've talked about when your friends pass out first. You know, maybe you break out a marker. What if your mother-in-law did that to you?
Probably get some more respect for it.
She might be a little cooler in that situation.
Someone said, would you rather smell like feet or smell like eggs all the time?
Feet, I think. Eggs? Yeah. Eggs is a really gross
I feel
smell.
like the eggs is easier to explain, though.
I guess. What state are the eggs in? Because I'll say this. Fresh fried eggs smell amazing.
Yeah.
But are we talking about like the sulfury, like when eggs get real bad?
Like boiled eggs, I'd imagine.
It's honestly like gag worthy for me. Whereas feet, like, I understand that you're right. I can probably explain the smell of feet better. But if I have to live in the smell, I'm going to be nauseous all day.
Yeah, just the feet, it just seems tougher where it's like, what have you been doing? Like, why does your whole body smell like it?
I mean, to be fair, what were you doing to smell like the rotting eggs?
I was cooking breakfast.
Buddy, it's time to empty the fridge.
Would you rather have one giant hand or one giant foot?
Buddy, I've already got 2 giant feet. It sucks. I feel like I would rather have the giant hand.
Yeah?
Giant foot, good for like stabilizing, but then now you got to buy shoes in split pairs.
You could probably be one of the best field goal kickers the NFL's ever seen.
Maybe, but that's the only way you're going to be able to afford the footwear you're going to need to buy.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel, buddy, if I got a giant mitt, put me in the outfield.
True.
Send me to the Sky Dome.
You could probably be a sick fighter as well.
Absolutely.
Although, I mean, I'm talking a lot about feet here this morning. If you have the big foot, knowing the way society is today, some money to be made there.
Oh, if I got the big foot, put me on WikiFeet for sure.
You don't even need to be on Feet Finder. Everyone will find it. Would you rather see with your tongue or taste with your eyes?
Taste with... you know what? I was about to say taste with your eyes like it was the obvious answer because we've all looked at food and just been like, oh my God, that looks so good. But then you would taste every person you looked at.
Oh.
Right? Imagine, I'm looking at you right now. If I taste with my eyes, what's happening to me?
Yeah.
You could never look at a person ever again.
That could be hot sometimes, but other times not so much, you know?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Oasis, a huge announcement in the past couple weeks of the whole reunion tour.
They're back, baby.
Liam Gallagher has confirmed on Twitter that they do have a new album and it is recorded. Someone asked them what the name of the album would be, and he said Turdos. And then someone else said, "What's the album going to sound like?" And he said Turdos as well. We assumed that it's a poop joke,
right?
But we were like, is Turdos some sort of British slang?
Maybe we, as just two Canadian kids, are missing some greater picture here.
We had friend of the show, Bavs, call in, and, he gave us a little information.
Turdos, it's sort of like probably about a bit of Manchester slang. Basically, I've worked for a few turds before in my life, so that's how you'd use it. And also, coming from London, we use slang a lot of the times, and we use rhyming slang. So it's also known as a Richard III.
So if someone asks him what the album is going to sound like, and he responds with Turdos, it's not a good thing.
Well, no, let's face it, it's probably about par for the course for anything Oasis create. So, obviously, I'm not a big fan, but Turdos is a play on the old Richard III.
Okay, so they're not your kids, I guess, eh?
No, they're from the northern part of Britain. We don't sort of mix too well.
There you go.
A quick request, Brock.
Yeah.
Can you please never, ever, ever try and do an English accent because it hurts my ears?
You know what? I sincerely apologize to you specifically.
He's not going to stop, but he did apologize.
Yeah, it's not me saying I'll stop, but that's me apologizing for sure.
Okay, boys, you have a good Monday.
The toughest part is while talking to him, I just wanted to do the accent.
No, you just slipped into it right there.
I did too.
Just a little, just a slight, just a touch.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You should send a text to me and Dalby 762-555. You should send a text to me and Dalby 762-555. Come on, get weird with us. 762-555.
I have no explanation for it, but it just kept getting funnier as you kept doing it over and over again.
Tech time, you should send a text.
I don't think it's asking too much. He sang it very pretty.
Yes.
He asked you very kindly.
As the Stone Temple Brox once said, send a text, 762-555. Am I the only one who calls Nipples Norts?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you are.
If not, what do you call them?
Nips?
Nips?
Nipples?
Heard people call them bites before.
Ugh. I do not.
Snake bites? I think that's like the piercing kind of term, maybe.
Nibs?
Pepperoni?
Yeah, depending on what size they are.
Spuds I've heard before, too.
That's a new one on me. And I like all of those better than Norts.
Put those Norts away.
Why Norts?
I don't know.
Buddy, these Norts could cut glass.
I need an answer to why it's called Norts.
Sean wants to know, if you pooped yourself at work, would you tell anyone?
I would tell you.
Yeah.
And that's probably it.
I tell the boss, because
Yeah.
I'm going home. Mm-hmm. I'm going home, and I'm not going to make it up.
Yeah, you and Jackie would probably be it. I wouldn't come here on the air and let everyone know. But I mean, I guess if you work like a real job, if you're on the trades or something like that.
If you work at a job site, you probably don't have to tell everybody. They're probably going to see it.
If you do tell everyone, you've got a nickname for life.
100%. I'm picturing like an office scenario where someone just goes and like stands up at a chair next to the photocopier and it's like, I have soiled myself. Like, no, just go home and clean yourself up.
Respect the confidence, though. We got another one here. It says, if Dalby is roast beef, what kind of beef is Brock?
You're a brisket.
I'm a brisket?
Yeah. You got to spend a lot of time for it to be worth it, but eventually you're pretty cool.
Takes a long time. Yeah.
Takes a lot of time to warm up, but after that.
I do get that impression when people meet me. They're like, what the hell? You hang around long enough, it's all right.
Shane wants to know, would you date a girl under house arrest? He says, I mean, she's really nice. You don't have to worry about a surprise pop-by asking for a friend.
I mean, makes date night pretty easy.
Yeah, you save a lot of money, right? Just pick up some food on your way over, I guess.
It depends on what she did.
That's the big thing.
Right?
Why are you under house arrest?
I mean, you can never judge a book by its cover, but you can judge someone by their ankle bracelet, ankle monitor.
Can't judge a book by its cover, but you can judge them by their charges.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Mm-hmm. What are we doing here?
Depends where she lives, too, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I guess if she's under house arrest, she's got to have kind of a nice place.
Is it a halfway house or is it her house?
Right, some dumpy apartment, living in like a long-term hotel situation. Yeah, probably not. Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, what do you got, 3 to 5? Call me when you're done.
I think your first date should actually be with her parole officer. Check in with him or her and see what
details.
They say and go from there, right?
Get the tea, as the kids say, before you step foot in the house without supervision.
Someone texted and said, who the hell is buying pumpkins right now and what are they doing with them?
It's too early. It's way too early. And not even from a standpoint of like, it's too early for Halloween. Like, if you carve your pumpkin, it's not going to make it to Halloween.
I'm going to assume that people are buying them for cooking purposes.
That's true.
Maybe shooting. If you've got guns, you could blow them up in the back.
See, but that's dumb. That's like buying candy before Valentine's Day. Everybody knows it's cheaper after the holidays.
True.
If you're just going to blow up the pumpkin, you could probably go door to door and take them for free.
All right, we'll wrap up with this one here. If you could spend one day with any artist or celebrity, who would it be and why?
Living, dead, both?
We'll leave it open, yeah.
I've always said the answer to this for me was Gord Downie. I think he would have been a fascinating dude to talk to, and I don't think it would have been too awkward.
Have a beer with him at the Toucan or something?
That's just it. Like, he felt like a real dude. Some of these celebrities, they're a little too big, you know what I mean? Like, you'd feel like you were constantly trying to keep their attention.
Yeah.
Whereas Gord just felt like, yeah, he's just a guy.
I think I'd have to go with, singer of my favorite band, Tom DeLonge. But I just want to know what he knows.
Right, yeah.
Sit down, get him to show me some alien videos or something.
This man was willing to walk away from the band over his beliefs in the whole alien thing, and now all of a sudden he's come back? What did they show you, Tom?
Yeah.
What are you hiding?
Yeah. I want to know what he knows, dude.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by BaDPod.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.